it's about the U.S.-China airplane dispute overall this brief talk, and I would like to start like pointing something that it becomes very interesting to me because I'm an economist. So when I try to look at the decisions that some politicians do, sometimes I also look at the economics background behind all these kind of decisions, right? So when you look at for instance, at the main airlines stock market prices and how they have been evolving in the last couple of weeks in the US, you see that they are actually bouncing back. With that, I mean that, for instance, United Airlines, American Airlines, and Delta Airlines, which are the three main carrier planes here in the US, actually they are coming back to their March levels, which is actually still like a quarter of their stock market prices compared to the previous pandemic instance, but still is like going back in a new way. So having that in mind, actually, to the China issue is not something like completely economically because it still has like a lot of market is still to coming back. So when you look at that, you realize that it's actually growing back, but it's still like in the close to the smallest level than closer to the normal before the pandemic. You realize that it's more like a political decision, right? And I would like to know how obvious it is for you. Or what is your perception about this?
Actually, yes, on the surface, the air flight dispute between China and the US is an economic issue and driven by the markets. But on the route, yes, the air flight dispute actually is a political issues. And especially on the current circumstances, yes, especially the intensification between the strategical competition between China and the US. Now everything, yes, if we see the past is normal things, but now it's covered by a political color. Yeah, we can say yes. Take air flight dispute as example. Yes, US air flight company, they just make this decision just when the outbreak of pandemics, they just suspend or shut down their air flights. But now they are very eager to want to resume the air flights. But why? The reason is the pandemic situation in the US, the air flight company in US now is most of them, such as the Delta and as American Airlines, is make nearly the brink of bankruptcy. Yes, and we can see a lot of Chinese students just living and studying in US, and the air flights tickets is very precious and very expensive. Yes, they want to make money back, and that is the one reason. Another reason is we can see the three airlines companies in US. They just have subsidiaries from the Congress. They should have a reason to show the Congress we just resume work. So that's why the Delta, the American Airlines, send application to China Air Control Authority, and we can see the China's measures for the control of the pandemics only for this, and not prejudice against American airline company. They only focus on other airlines, such as the Hansa, the South Korea Airlines. We choose this equally, yeah. But very interesting, we can see on the June 1st, yes, American, the Trump administration just gave the deadlines, but they give the deadlines nearly 2 weeks. So it means the American also want to the 2 weeks time to negotiate. Maybe on the table, yes, with the Chinese,
and actually it's very curious
but
because
no,
you always have like this official declaration of the U.S. Department of Transport, the U.S. dot, quite obvious, at least from the Democrats here in the U.S., that if you could find some rationale in the way that the Trump administration is kind of treated in China, at least under all the rational measures that sometimes it takes because of his own emotion, something that you will at least identify this kind of tick or tat idea, right? So if you do something, I will do the same for you. And I don't care about how this could scale, but I will just try to do it because I do think that that is like the most equal way to treat one nation to another. That could sound like a little bit, and sorry because of my word, could be like sound a little bit silly when you think about previous administration, but at least in the current administration it has been like that. So why do you think about that? I mean, it's unreasonable for both countries to keep going in this kind of escalation. So you need to reach an agreement all the time. But it's kind of very tricky to negotiate with someone which, you know, acts in some way in one day, and then you could have like another decision in the next one, right? So how are you going to deal with this? And I also deal with this question because I don't know if you are aware, but in the last couple of days, some graduate schools, some universities and colleges here in the US, they have announced that they will move all their fall semester to online. So there were many people, many internationals who were remaining in the US so far, expecting that the normal classes will go on in summer or in September. But right now, after this kind of announcements, they are like they need to take some right immediate action. And of course, they are right now seriously considered to come back to their own countries. And among them, of course, there could be like several Chinese. So yeah, sorry about this long question, but I would like to know maybe your yeah.
No. Okay, yes, you just hit the point. Now, yes, the bilateral relations between U.S. China, yes, we can say yes, falling down day by day. Whether yes, if we see the China-U.S. relation today, whether from political and security and ideological perspective, is really yes from bad to worse. Yes, for common sense, usually yes, in the past, the epidemics yes has always been a long-sensitive issues, and the two countries has cooperated in the past and make a lot of progress. But unfortunately, yes, this time, yes, since the COVID-19 is outbreak, we have not seen any positive yes, cooperation and positive exchange. On the contrary, we find the official distrust between the China two governments. I think yes, if the developments of American and China relations, we can say that after the end of Cold War in 1991, we lost the strategic momentum. And during the second half of Obama administration, yes, we lose some physical momentum. But now, what is happening now is, yes, we lose the spiritual momentum. So that's why currently, yes, we have a lot of opportunity to discuss our American colleagues and also worries about the current situation, yes. And they also put forward with two sides should settle some bottom lines, that is, avoid the conflict to prevent this Cold War, we can say Cold War situation become the hot war. Yeah. So you just mentioned the students restriction. From my point of view, yes, maybe it's a natural trend, and especially the Trump administration, yes, and a lot of politicians. We can see a lot of politicians in the White House in Washington, yes, they have lose their political yes, bottom lines. Yes, we can from the White House to the Congress, one by one bill, yes, proposed by American senators and congressmen against China for the compensation, and also restrict normal intellectual exchange, and also put sanctions against Hong Kong issues. And maybe it's a natural trend, yes, natural trend. We just have a physical preparation for these bad results.
Thank you. And I don't know if I could like do like a small, a brief last question, and basically thinking all this all background, because at the end, this kind of flight issue that China and U.S. is currently experiencing is also one additional proxy of the growing tensions that is going on under this unfortunate administration. I'm pretty sure that you are also aware of the current issues, the social issues that are going on in the U.S. And there were some declarations that, Trump is basically the first U.S. American president in our lifetime who is not trying to unite the Americans, but is instead trying to
Yes.
to disunite them. And that is actually something that
Yeah.
it's been feel quite a lot in DC and in among all these protests. And this could also be extrapolated in the policies that is currently taken, not only in matters of social issues, but also in matters of public health investment, and also in matters of this kind of treatment that is given to China, and specifically also to this kind of light deals. How do you think you will deal with this? I mean, having on one side the administration and Trump supporters, which are roughly probably like 50% of American active voters, and in the other side you have like the rest, mostly composed by Democrats. And what is your vision towards the upcoming elections that are supposed to happen in November, if everything goes fine? Especially, I mean, in the airport, a business, you need to think in the medium and the long term, especially after this kind of pandemic that has posed like many threats to many of the investments in this area. So what are you expecting about the upcoming months, and what are your next thoughts about what could lie ahead in terms of political stability, and of course, based on political stability, in the economical deals that you could also get with the US?
Yeah, our policy towards U.S. is very clear. Yes, for the current riots and demonstration, yes, China has always yes, do not interfere with domestic affairs. Yes, any countries, and we're against the violence. Yes, we want to U.S. society restore the normal order. Yes, but from these issues, yeah, we can say yes, through these riots, which has people, yeah, we can have a better view of United States, and we have a better view of China developments, its own developments, and also have a better understandings of how China dealing with Hong Kong. For American, these riots, yes, I think there's maybe three implications. The first, the Trump administration is planned to resume work will be severely disrupted, and the U.S. economy maybe will be hit harder. And second, administration and the riots will plunge Trump's political image. Following lack of control of pandemics, the massive criticism against Trump, the leadership have maybe I think have come to a new climax, and we are casting the shadow over his re-election. And the third, the instance, the riots will damage the international image of United States, allow the world and the people from the other countries to see clearly about another face of US and American double standards. And you just mentioned, the maybe the after half years the American president campaign, I think the last 3 months is very critical. But now we cannot be harsh to make a final judgment. Yeah. But for the pandemics, maybe the Trump's oath to re-elect it is very high. Against Joe Biden. But now we can say you have to say, and in America, is very interesting. Every time, when some big crisis happens, such as the Pearl Harbor, such as 9/11, the supporting rates for the current president, very high, as much higher than Trump. When Franklin Roosevelt and George W. Bush, the supporting rate is very high, nearly 80%, 90%. So, but this time, even another crisis such as pandemic happens, we can say on the April, the Trump supporting rate is higher, it's very normal, But one word, after September, we can make a more and more clear perspective,
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. I also appreciate your time and your comments and your very nice insights tonight. Thank you.